Kieran here. Welcome to the third part in our Lord of the Rings series, the third and final part. We'll be talking about Return of the King today and reading out some of your comments on which you think is the best film. So we'll start off with that. Pip, do you just want to say hello before we get on?
Yeah, right. Hello, how are you today? Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Okay, so we'll start off with the comments from the first part where we talked about, Fellowship of the Ring, and there was a fantastic interview with James Atkins, which got a good reception.
Spectacular, wasn't it, Kieran?
Spectacular. Okay, so we got a comment on that video from Ellie Ridge, who just simply says, "Keep it secret, keep it safe."
Yes.
She says, "Love it, actually made me giggle." And then she put above, "Oops, asterisk me." It actually made me my giggle. Just read it.
Oh.
Okay, so on our Two Towers Part 2 episode, we got a few comments. The first one from 72 who I believe is Ryan, a regular.
We think is Ryan.
We don't know. He's a regular watcher, listener.
Yeah.
So he says, "Fellowship of the Ring is the best because the audience can really get attached to the characters, which I think improves the film.
Yeah, I agree with Ryan.
Also, a meerkat which wears the same dressing gown every day, it could be worse. He could wear the same trousers every day.
This is
nudge,
true.
nudge, wink, wink." So thanks for that, Ryan. I have no idea what you're talking about in that last bit, but the second one we got on the Two Towers was another comment from Ellie Ridge. She says, "Well," God, she's persistent. She says, "Well, I believe that the Two Towers is the best, as this is when the Fellowship ends and Frodo and Samwise go off on their own. Therefore, you see a whole lot more of the two sexiest hobbits. Hobbits?
Did she spell it wrong? Or?
No, I was saying it wrong.
Jesus.
In Middle-earth. I've lost the ability to read. I personally think that Pippin and Merry are the sexiest hobbits in Middle-earth.
Yes, they are.
And then Gothic Vampire 001, who is Ghislaine, maybe?
Jizza!
She says, "To be honest, I think that Return of the King was the best, but I can't explain why." Ellipses.
Wow. So
But-
mysterious.
Thankfully, somebody came to her rescue, who goes by the name of Kieran Wyatt, and has commented, "Return of the King is the best, although, has there ever been a plot spoiler that big in the title of a film before?" You card, Kieran. Return of the King is obviously the best, the culmination of two films, and it brings all of the emotion and adventure into one. Brilliant.
Nice.
Thanks for that, Kieran, and thanks for everybody who commented. Keep commenting. Comment on this video. Just keep commenting. Just comment. It's what we've become.
Right.
Okay, so The Return of the King. Me and Pip watched it yesterday on Saturday, didn't we? Just before going to The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Didn't we, Pip? Now, it was a week after we've seen Two Towers, so the story starts with a really sort of interesting and exciting and sort of frightening opening, isn't it? With the origin story of Gollum.
Smeagol.
Yes, Smeagol turning into Gollum, him finding the ring, stealing it from his friend, murdering his friend to get the ring.
Oh.
And then it shows him being outcast into the mountains and slowly turning into Gollum, with the culmination being his opening of his eyes to create the Gollum eyes. I really love that opening. And then we cut to present day in our story. Sam and Frodo are there camping out with Gollum. We see Gollum, and I think that opening really helps to discover, some of Smeagol's motivations in the film. Jackson makes him a really strangely empathic and sympathetic character, and I think that's one of the geniuses of this film. And then we see that they're struggling, they're running out of food, and that's important after. And then we cut to Aragorn, Legolas, and Gandalf, who are riding to Isengard.
Is it Aragon or Aragorn?
Aragon.
Aragon.
Or Aragon, whatever.
I thought it was Aragorn.
And they're riding to Isengard, and they meet Merry and Pippin, who have, of course, defeated it with the help of the Ents. And then we find that Sauron is amassing his armies to fight the White Palace of Minas Tirith, the Palace of the King. And if that falls, if Minas Tirith falls, then there will be no Return of the King, and the Age of Men will be no more, and the Age of Darkness will begin, and the ring will be found, and everything bad and evil will happen. So they have to amass an army using the help of Rohan, and this is the first time really we get a good look at Gondor, especially Minas Tirith, which is just spectacular. And I like how all of the different armies have, different sort of weapons and armors, really detailed. And then we see the War of the Ring begins, and
So it begins.
we get, as Gandalf prophesied at the end of Helm's Deep, the Battle of Helm's Deep is over, but the battle for Middle-earth has just begun. Okay, so the Return of the King, it is my favourite, and we'll hear what Pip has to say in a second after he's finished. What are you playing, Pip?
Just a bit of Minesweep.
Minesweep? I've never understood that game. Right, but Return of the King is my favourite for a lot of reasons. I saw it a while back, and it really hit me sort of hard. It's the end of this epic, and every film is epic in its own way, trilogy. And the end just makes me weep every time, especially when, and spoilers, but if you can't guess the ending, then you are an idiot. And that is why it is so brilliant. Even though the ending is predictable, it's still exciting, and you still feel involved, especially when Frodo and Sam are climbing up that mountain, Mount Doom. They eventually get to Mount Doom, and Sam is reminding Frodo about, strawberries and cream in the Shire, and that just makes me cry. There are lots of things in it that are visually stunning for its time, 2003, and we watched it on Saturday, and it doesn't look that bad, does it?
No.
The battles are epic and amazing, and I love it when they're throwing sort of boulders at Minas Tirith. For my liking, the walls crumble too easily. They get hit by one rock and they just fall down.
Oh, they only get hit by a rock and they die. What's up with that?
But yeah, it brings all of the emotion together in one film. You see the end of all of these characters that you've been with
Oh dear.
for 3 years together, and it's something really special. I love Pippin's journey. That's my favourite thing about the film, bar the end. I love the ending, but Pippin's character development, we haven't seen much of him in the other films, but I love him in this film. Sauron thinks that he has the ring, so he has to go with Gandalf to Minas Tirith to protect himself, and then he becomes a soldier, and it's all about him and Gandalf sort of, their friendship growing, and Merry and Pippin have to separate, but then they come together. I just love that. And the ending's just sentimental and saccharine, but it's wonderful. And Sam, he becomes a hero. Sam really makes it. And my favourite thing is when Aragorn turns, there's no hope. As Gimli says, certainty of death, low chance of success. What were we waiting for? Aragorn turns and says, for Frodo, and they all charge just at orcs, knowing that they're going to die, and that for me is amazing. It's one of the great films of our time. Whether you agree with me or not, I do agree with me. But we are going to find out what Pip thinks. There is one thing that I don't like. I didn't like her in Two Towers, and I don't like her in this film. Erwin, we never really see her character developed on when at the end of the film. Her relationship with Aragorn was really interesting to me in Two Towers, and they sort of just waste it. But apart from that, it is a near to perfect film that I've ever seen. So, Pip, Return of the King, just sum up for us, not only Return of the King, but what Lord of the Rings, what you think of it. Give us your review.
What's
Go on,
that?
whenever you're ready.
Did you just say it a bit louder in
Yeah.
a quiet voice?
Right. Yeah,
Wow,
go on.
What's up with that?
Go on, I'm sure the audience can't wait to hear what you think, Pip.
Well, it's alright, isn't it? It's a good film.
Alright, which is the best in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's got to be Fellowship.
Go on, why? Why is Fellowship your favourite?
Because it's better than all the others.
That is brilliant. Fellowship is my second favourite, then Two Towers.
Second?
Yeah, Return of the King's just my favourite.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, it's not.
It's Fellowship.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed our Return of the King review and all of our Lord of the Rings reviews. Watch out for The Hobbit coming out on Monday or sometime next week. Watch out for that review and watch out for our top 5 of the year.